The first thing the man did after being reborn was hide the jade pendant under his bed, because he knew that in a moment, the adopted son would bring the family over to frame him for stealing something. Sure enough, when the man opened the door, his father's whip came straight at him. The whole family accused him of being a petty thief who stole other people's stuff. At that moment, the adopted son stood behind him, pretending to defend the man with a wronged look, saying he definitely didn't do it on purpose. Hearing that made the father favor him even more, and he immediately ordered people to search the man's room for the pendant. He even said that if they found it there, he would send the man back to the orphanage right away. Hearing that, the adopted son pretended not to know anything, and went under the man's bed to look for the pendant he'd planted in advance, but he didn't expect it to be gone. Seeing this, the man grabbed his father's whip, and ordered the adopted son to kneel and apologize. Turns out the man had been reborn, and in his last life the adopted son ruined him with lies, and made the family disappointed in him. To get his family's attention, the man stayed in the lab for a whole year, and finally developed a formula that could bring glory to the family business. But his father ordered him to hand the results over to the adopted son. Just as the man was about to refuse, his mother knocked him out with something. The adopted son had lied, saying the man planned to sell the formula to a rival company, so they forced the man to sign the contract. During the struggle, he knocked over an alcohol lamp, and the lab instantly caught fire, but the family locked him inside alone. The man died in the accident. Maybe heaven pitied his fate, and gave him a second chance. Now that he saw everything clearly, he decided to cut ties with his family. When his mother saw the man was about to act, she rushed forward reminding him the adopted son was his brother. But the man no longer recognized them as family. Seeing this, the eldest sister angrily stepped up to accuse him, saying no wonder people said he did poorly in school, and bullied others. The man felt like he was hearing a joke, and took out years of scholarship certificates for them to see whether he was really a bad student with a bad character. Seeing that, the eldest sister had nothing to say. The man then sat down, and directly called his father by name, and told him to sign the agreement cutting ties. His father wanted to teach him a lesson, but the man had evidence that they abused their biological son. If exposed, the company's stock price would tank. All the dirt made the father panic, so he had no choice but to sign. Seeing his goal achieved, the man turned and left. After he left, the father arranged for the adopted son to attend next week's academic exchange. He told him to present the new drug the man had developed. At that moment, the eldest sister said, some of the lab mice had liver failure from the man's drug lately. The adopted son insisted the mice were just weak, and it had nothing to do with the drug. That convinced the father, and he told the adopted son to make sure to please the female CEO. Hearing that made the adopted son pleased with himself. Meanwhile, the man suddenly realized he remembered all the formulas from his previous life, and his skills were 20 years ahead of the world. So he quickly wrote down the formulas, and went to find the daughter of a pharmaceutical company, saying he hoped she could invest and help him start a new company. Hearing that, the woman thought he was joking, but the next second, the man explained the real reason their drug project had failed. It wasn't because of low antibody activity, but because they chose the wrong materials. That flaw caused the failure, and he could fix the issue perfectly. Hearing that, the woman was shocked. The man then explained the use of the formula. After hearing it, the woman made up her mind immediately. After taking him to the company for a full evaluation, and after the whole company discussed it, they not only agreed to invest in him, but also made him the company's executive vice president. That afternoon, while the man was in the lounge, his family, who came to cooperate, saw him, and mocked him, saying he must have stolen the adopted son's data to scam money. The man didn't want to bother with them, but they wouldn't stop mocking him. Fed up, the man splashed his coffee right onto the adopted son, and pinned him to the table. An employee rushed over telling the man to stop, saying this wasn't the place for him to cause trouble. Then he asked who the man even was. Seeing a staff member dare talk to him like that, the man decided it was time they understood who he really was. He immediately called the woman to hold a meeting. Seeing the man sit at the head of the table, the family naively thought he was about to be punished. But the next second, the man hosted the meeting, and announced he opposed their cooperation with the company. Hearing that, the family found it ridiculous, thinking he wasn't qualified. After all, the female CEO was still sitting in the room. Then the woman spoke up, saying she also opposed the cooperation. Hearing that, the family was completely shocked.